going to do something a little different this time. I'm going to tell you a story. I would like to say it was about great dare-doing on the high seas, but I'm not sure it is. But first we have to go back to the start, 18 months ago. Well, here we are again, off on another little trip, sailing this time. And to make sure that I have every chance of coming back alive, I'm going to check out my safety equipment before I set off. First we've got GPS, which hopefully is going to tell me where I am all the time and stop me from getting lost. Life jacket, very important thing. If I was to fall overboard, this is going to ensure that I don't drown. And if that doesn't work, hopefully this will, and I can call for help with my VHF radio. Now if that doesn't work, then we've got this. It says on it, fast find. Well, I'm hoping that when I do activate it, well, I'm hoping that I never have to activate it, but if I do, I'm hoping that the signal will go up to the satellite and somebody will come out with a lifeboat or a helicopter, find me, rescue me and save me. If that don't work, we'll worry about that when the time comes. So we're all packed, ready to go, and I thought you might like to come along with me. But before you say yes, I think I should point out that we're not talking teak decks draped with beach babes here. We're sort of talking sailing one step up from a bathtub. Anyway, if you join me, you'll see what I mean. So what could have possibly gone wrong? Well, first let me point out, I haven't got and I can't afford a yacht. But I know a man that can. James, gentleman farmer from Cheshire, breeder of fine quality cattle and owner of the earlier mentioned bathtub. And what went wrong? I'll tell you what went wrong. Him being a bloody farmer, that's what went wrong. James, what do you mean your cow won't give birth? His cow's refusing to give birth. He can't leave till it does. Sailing's cancelled. James, what do you mean it's gonna rain next week? It's gonna rain next week, so he's got to get his hay in this week, before the bad weather comes. Sailing cancelled. James, what do you mean you've sold the boat? He sold the boat. That means no sailing. But there are other ways to get on the water. Now when I said I didn't have a yacht, because I couldn't afford one, that was not strictly true. And that's because this is mine. There's no muscular bronze men working on this boat, except me. There's no glamour girls sat on the after deck drinking martinis. But we've all got to start somewhere, and this is my starting point. And what you can see behind me is a race, and you might think that that's the sort of speed that somebody my age would be looking forward to, but that is not the case. I need just a little bit more adrenaline than that. So I'm going to watch today and wait till we get the next hurricane come through before I put my boat in the water.
Then there's the inland waterways. When friends of mine told me they wanted to go on a canal boat holiday, but had to have a designated responsible person on board, I could think of only one. Of course, you might prefer boating somewhere warm. When my friend Shelley asked me about boating in Greece, I was only too happy to demonstrate my expertise.
So what we're going to do is let's just speed up just a little bit, but don't go any closer to the rocks than where we are now. We want to keep an eye on the dinghies, obviously. Now you might begin to think that James and his bathtub are a figment of my imagination. Not so. Take a look at this fine figure of a man and his pride and joy, Samphire.
James Sutton.
Oh, your video? I thought you were taking a picture.
Superb navigator extraordinaire.
Wait till we're back on dry land. There's a chance we could die yet in here.
Oh, okay.
So, what was wrong with Samphire? Well, the sleeping and sanitary arrangements weren't ideal. There's only so long you can put up with sleeping nose to nose with somebody who's farting and snoring all night, and having to share one of these for peeing, pooing and washing in. And that's not the only thing. James is not only good at breeding cows, he's also a pretty good breeder himself. I think it's because he's been watching that bull of his at work, but this has resulted in him having 3 children. And it doesn't take a genius to work out that 3 children, James and a wife, isn't going to fit on that boat. So he's bought a new boat. That's the good news. The bad news is, take a look at the picture of the boat. Now for you more observant types, you've probably spotted that there's no water. Now this is because James's boat is in Wales and James is in England, and due to this some virus going around, he's not allowed to go down there and prepare him for the sea. So at this moment in time, we've got a boat, but we can't get to it to sail. So, what to do next? Yes, what to do. James rang me and he said, why don't we go on a course? I said, a course? Yes, why not? We might even learn something. But what course? How about a Yachtmaster preparation course, he said. Brilliant. I thought, Yachtmaster, sounds sort of posh that. And it might give me an excuse to buy a new cap and get some more gold braid for my jacket. So it's arranged, we're going to go on this course. But then I suddenly realised that all the stuff that we thought we knew, do we still know it? Now I should point out that James and I are certified And before you go, yes, we know you're certified, I don't mean like that. I mean as in, we've got books full of certificates. And these certificates say that we know what we're doing with a boat out on the high seas. Well, we maybe did a year ago, but how much of it can we remember? I mean, there's radio, manoeuvring at close quarters, weather, sail strategy, sail trim, manual of seamanship, the complete day skipper, and most importantly, the international regulations for the prevention of collision at sea. And I'm actually amazed that I could actually remember that full title. So, bit of a panic on. All that's in there, but whereabouts in there? So this is why I'm sitting at the chart table, got my pencil, my plotter, that's the thing to mark lines and angles with. More importantly, when I'm doing navigating on a chart, a rubber, and these things. What are these for? Well, they basically make me look as though I know what I'm doing. Yeah, good, eh? To be honest, the only use I've had for these in the last 12 months is picking my nose with. And there we are. And tomorrow we're going, so it's the last chance to have a revise. Bye, wifey. See you in a week.
Bye, hubby.
Now, what we're looking for is something in a mob, this old marina full of bathtubs. Well, I found the bathtub, and I'm going to have to stop using that analogy because this isn't a bathtub. This is more what you'd call the mother of all jacuzzis. So here she is. This is an Oceanus 411, which means she's about 44 foot long. It's not just an Oceanus, it's Oceanus Clipper. It gives you that feeling of being out there in the Caribbean or sailing across to Tahiti or hanging around in the harbour at Bangkok. Unfortunately, our best bet over the next couple of days is probably Northern Ireland. It doesn't have the same ring to it, but it's better than sitting at home dreaming. One of the great things about this boat, it's got a bathing platform. We're not going to be using it, but it makes it easy access for the boat. We'll be using most of the stuff that we'll see on this boat, but the one thing that we hopefully aren't going to use is the life raft, which is situated upfield. Right, let's have a look downstairs. Pretty simple layout, not quite as spacious as you might think looking from the outside. Just got the galley there, seating area, chart table, that's where I sit to make myself look important, and basically 3 cabins. The owner's cabin, which is quite spacious with its own ensuite toilet, and the peasant's cabin, which is mine, which involves crawling on your hands and knees to get into bed. A bit like camping, so it's okay. And then another similar cabin the other side, where
Boo. And yes,
fortunately
I am a peasant.
Noah has managed to get her clothes on before I peeked in there to have a look. And that's it. Simple but functional. And that's all you need to get you from A to B. So, we've got ourselves a nice yacht here. It's got teak decks, so you might expect we've got beach babes draped all over them. Well, we have got beach babes, but not quite what you might expect. So if you think you're going to see bikinis anytime soon, you're going to be disappointed. In fact, let's take a look at the beach babes. Now looking at that, we might as well have a couple of nuns on board for how good it is. Speaking of nuns, I'm actually frightened of nuns. When I was a little lad, about 4 or 5 years old, when we went to our local town, was a convent, and I used to hide behind my mother's skirt if I saw these black apparitions gliding towards me. I was terrified. Nothing more scary than a couple of penguins coming at you. And in later years, there was a new lad starting at our school, and word got around that he'd been expelled from the convent, allegedly for throwing himself off the deck and attacking the chief penguin. And I thought, wow, how brave is that? So, I made friends with him, and we've been best mates for the last 50 odd years. In all those years, I've never been attacked by a penguin.
Where are we heading to now? So, of course, 3:30 something. If you can see Alan's right leg there, if it starts trembling, it generally means we need to reef or he needs to have a wee.
And you can sort of see them because it does see the rate of turn on it, so the rate of turn is actually quite helpful for you to see if they're actually turning or not.
Is there any reason why it's flashing red?
Because it's
Imminent collision.
it's within a specific distance.
Oh, that's alright. Anything to liven up the day.
But to be honest, I wouldn't suggest going by yourself, mate. I wouldn't suggest going yourself.
Well, we're just arriving at Troon. Didn't go to Ballycastle in Ireland. We chickened out. Said something about rough seas and big waves. And We're out, but we're not that out. So we're going to Troon for a nice quiet night and a cold beer and a glass of whiskey.
A long way up there, bro.
Now you may think that keeping warm on a yacht at this time of year is difficult. Not so. Let me demonstrate. Now introducing Alan, wearing the latest onesie. Guaranteed to keep any man warm out in the Irish Sea. Every man should have one. That's how you do it.
I live on vitamin deficiency. I have those like vitamin tablets which you drop in boiling water and they fizz for my vegetable intake.
Surely you can't.
That's how you get your vitamins.
What about fruit? Fruit's not that. Veggies
No,
and fruit aren't that
fruit
good.
I'll have. Fruit I'll have. Occasionally.
Zooming on the sausages, Alan. This is Noah's how to cook sausages.
How do I know when they're cooked through?
They're,
Because they're quite brown at the
yeah,
minute.
I'd go. They'd be all right then. Let me see. Yeah, as long as I trust them ones. Yeah, all we done was just put the outer and left the inner raw.
I think I have.
Yeah. If you can get away with another minute of just rolling them without them burning,
Okay,
then
I'll do that.
they'll be okay.
I keep getting a splatter of oil on my hands. That's why I don't cook. It's still filming. Oh, brilliant.
This is
This isn't you taking the piss out of yourself, so you can't put this on.
No,
Clarky's
this is specifically for you to demonstrate to your family, friends,
Oh, they know.
your culinary talents.
I offered to cook for Christmas this year, and my mum was like, no, that will not be.
I can see why now. I would trust you with a Christmas dinner. So what is Clarky's guide to washing up then? What system have you got?
Me, I
Yeah.
like to rinse all the thick stuff off first, so that when I wash it in the bowl, I'm not cleaning the plates in filthy water.
Yeah.
Now I've rinsed them all, I'm now going to run some nice clean water, and we will have pristine, shiny plates. Except they won't be very shiny because they're made of plastic. Now that's not because this company is cheap and they can't afford best porcelain and crystal. That's because we're on a bloody boat and somebody keeps tacking the damn thing and throwing everything everywhere. So that's why we have plastic.
Can I see your hand for a second? They're so soft. You must wash in fairy.
Sometimes I am a bloody
Very
fairy.
liquid. What? I just wish you'd flush it properly after you've been.
I'm coming. We seem to have an issue
I can't
with
deal
the
with
toilet.
that. My stomach's not strong enough. It smells a bit public toilety.
You'd think a man that's up to his ankles in Calmuck all day would be able to handle it. Bloody hell! Anybody want to go swimming in here?
want me to film it?
You better do the camera. We're on.
Tell people on the boat that
We're on.
not
I think we've had a bit of feedback, James. I've got a sneaky feeling we'd have been better off in another tack, but it's whoa, steady. I don't want it slopping over. You know what happens when it slops over? One of us has to get down there with a rag and mop it up.
Push it through now with some sea.
Sanitary by Clarky.
This is the joys of sailing and boat life. It's the
Do
heads.
you want me to wait and see if any turds pop back up?
Have you pumped some seawater through?
Yeah.
Yeah, right, okay, I can go now then.
Oh, you mean you haven't
No,
been?
that's not me, I've not been yet.
Go on then.
There's some air going there. I think it's been festering, it's been stewing in there, the smell, since how long it was been dropped in there. So we've been out on the boat for 2.5 hours, so no air in there.
You know that toilet?
Even George Michael won't go in there.
You know that toilet that you were moaning about this morning in the facilities up at the marina?
Yeah.
I think there was nothing wrong with it. I think you're just a bit of a pussy.
I can only deal with my own and my kids, that's it.
I think we better leave him to it.
Right. He's the jib. Oh. Or he's the main, whichever.
You sure?
Yeah, he's the jib. Yeah, don't let your fingers in that between that rope. Excellent. You're trying to throw me overboard, Mr. Sutton.
Just a bit of a gust come through. She rounded up.
Do you want us to?
That's what's considered a bit of excitement in sailing world. Probably caught a chaotic wind coming down the mountains.
Then
Right, tack in.
You're the only person on the boat, so it doesn't matter.
Oh yeah, I'm only person. Solo sailing. apart from not releasing that from me. That's a solo tack in practice for my next Around the Cape Horn challenge. Thank you.
Good one.
Now one of the downsides with sailing is you've got to chuck up on a pontoon on the night. And if it happens to be next to a fishing boat that's just come in, every seagull in the universe descends on the place. Now, you might not be able to see them, but every speck of light and white you can see behind me is a seagull. And if I want to walk off this pontoon, I've got to go through them. So consequently, I am now confined to the boat until they bugger off. Don't like seagulls.
Okay, slip guys.
Clear.
Here's Clarky after another adventure, taking us home.
Into the night.
Everybody ready? Stand by, action, and crew pose!
Can't even see me.
It's really warm here.
I was off then. I hadn't even had a drink.
No, it's nice and warm.
Did you buy those clothes deliberately too big for you so you could rack it?
Enjoying Scotland's beauty. Sailing into the rain.
James, we've got to make it look as though it's rough. That's it, I've got it. So that's it. Camera's missed it up.
I was in that shot.
He was in that shot. Job's a good one. Let's go home. So, our story's nearly at an end. James and Clarky finally made it out on the water after 18 months of waiting. And you may have thought it was a bit of a sexist approach, Where was the mention of tanned, muscular, fit men on this boat? Well, they were there. But Clarkie and James decided to keep their clothes on in order not to disappoint. And what about Noah? The way she attacked those winches and every other manual task on that boat, she made me look like a wimp. That girl has the heart of a lion. And if you don't believe me, take a look at this. Noah!
Håll den ner, jag följer den ner. Ready to go?
Farmer's brick.
Looks like a dead weight. You just don't go too far back.
Don't fall out the back, whatever you do.
It's very uncomfortable. Watch your legs on the
I missed the injury there.
Here she is. This is a Pennytow Oceanus 411, which means she's about 41 foot long. Now even the name, Oceanus, clipper in fact. I didn't notice that. And in all those years, I've never been attacked by a penguin. There you go.
Again. I'm not sure if it's recording. Oh yes, yeah.
And in all those years, I've never been attacked by a penguin.
Action.
And in all those years, I've never been attacked by a penguin. I'll decide which one's the right one. There's an actor called Hardy Kruger, top German actor he used to be, and he did a shot on a bridge too far, and we spent an hour and a half and he kept repeating the same line, and he wasn't happy with his performance, so he just kept saying it over and over again. And we'd been up most of the night and we wanted to go at 6 o'clock in the morning to a local bar for breakfast and a couple of beers, and all he kept saying is, "No, one more time." And we kept thinking, oh, for God's sake.